Hello and welcome to Sports This Morning. I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
And I am Tayo Salam. Many thanks for joining us again.
On the program this morning, the Nigerian Women's Football League is starting today. And of course, the big match to watch it for is Delta Queens and Rivers Angels. That's the Premiership champions taking on Delta Queens at the Stephen Kershaw Stadium in Asaba.
Awesome. Can't wait for this one to kick off later today, the top flight of the Nigerian Women's Professional Football League. Also on the program, still talking football, but in the UEFA Champions League, where Atletico Madrid are through to the round of 16 of the UEFA Champions League after beating Porto by 3-0 at the Stadio do Grau.
Yeah, the smiles from Luis Suarez, of course.
I mean, look at that.
Spells it all, with FC Porto pressing the distraught button.
You can say that again.
That game with 9 men. Also on the program, yes, this is revenge. Well, served really cold. Now, the 3 big men are talking about LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, and of course, Anthony Davis. They were all on fire on double digits. That's how they were able to beat the Boston Celtics by 117-102. LeBron leading at a team with 30 points.
Fantastic victory for the Boston, for the LA Lakers. Of course, we know this is the biggest rivalry in NBA history. The first one went to the Boston Celtics pretty comprehensively by 22 points. The LA Lakers had to make sure they got their pound of flesh, and that's exactly what they did. So the results of the games that are played in the NBA, just the 3 games early this morning, starting with the Nets taking on the Dallas Mavericks. That game ended 102-99 in favor of Brooklyn. Kevin Durant with 24 points, James Harden with 23 in that victory. Elsewhere, the Knicks defeated the San Antonio Spurs 121-101. R.J. Barrett making a career high 7 3-pointers on his way to scoring 32 points in that victory for the Knicks as it snapped a 3-game losing streak. And last but not the least, the Lakers and the Celtics 117-102 in favor of LA. LeBron James was the star of the show. Russell Westbrook wasn't bad either as well too, as the LA Lakers made sure they share once again the season series against the Boston Celtics. Cecilia, that's our feature match.
Obviously. Of course, Russell Westbrook has delivered with the 3rd quarter belonging to him, literally. All right, starting off with what LeBron James actually did on the night. It was a big night for him. Yes, I will argue that because according to statistics, now James has actually tallied 155 points in his last 5 games. And the only player to have done that above the age of 36 happens to be Michael Jordan.
Wow. King James still playing at a very, very high level. It's not a surprise for anyone that has watched this guy come into the league 18 years ago. It's been one season of greatness to the other. The fact that LeBron James is still the best player on this LA Lakers side that's got Anthony Davis says a lot about his level of play. Talking about Anthony Davis, he finished with 17 points and 16 rebounds for LA in that victory. It has to be said, this is one of the best performances recently coming from the LA Lakers.
From the big 3, I love the fact that they all came to the party. They were not just scoring the points, also the rebounds and the assists. For Russell Westbrook, for instance, he finished with 24 points and 11 assists. And that 3rd quarter I was talking about, for him, I mean, at a point where we thought Lakers were going to lose that game, he took everything. And at the end of the day, won by as much as 11 points in that period. So overall, taking up to that 16 points, then he had 11 points in that one. So I think for Russell, they know that they needed to shine because, I mean, even the series right now, the Celtics, when they won the first, I was like, okay, what's happening with the Lakers? And now it's 1-1. So the bragging right is with no one. So the fans who were celebrating at first and everything, and I was talking about Ime Udoka, who at least, you know what it means to actually beat, the Lakers. But right now, I don't know.
Right now, as a matter of fact, Cecilia, for the 5th straight season, the Lakers and the Boston Celtics are sharing the season series. So no bragging rights, like you said, for either of the fans of those 2 sides. It was a 296th edition of the rivalry, the biggest in the NBA history. 17 championships apiece. I'm not too sure either one will going to win a championship this season, but fingers crossed, there's still a long way to go. Anyways, for the Lakers,
But if
they're
you take a
13
look
and
at
12
the
now.
differential in the points, I mean, remember what happened November 19? It was 130, 108. That was incredulous. Yes, that's the thing.
All right, so for this game, I actually watched this. Cecilia was very tight from the first to the second quarter, but the third quarter
yeah,
was when the LA Lakers are pulled away. And in that
courtesy
quarter,
of Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, Russell was very instrumental to that run. And they shot 56.5% from the floor with Russell Westbrook pretty much dominant in that quarter. And that's how they were able to win that game. For the Boston Celtics, it has to be said that Jason Tatum scored 14 of his 34 points in an incredible first quarter blitz. But the rest of the supporting cast just could not contribute to, his very, very impressive numbers. Jaylen Brown, unfortunately, sat out his third straight game with a strained left hamstring. So that's it for you. The LA Lakers are evening the series against the Boston Celtics for the 5th straight season. All right, let's talk about the Brooklyn Nets now. And they were in action against the Cavs, and for long periods, it looked like they were going to lose that game. They were down by as many as 17 points, but then Kevin Durant and James Harden stepped up to the plate and ensured that the Brooklyn Nets did not lose, thereby sending the Mavs to their 5th straight defeat at home.
I mean, they were leading by 17 points in that third quarter. Now they let that slide. When you're playing against Kevin Durant and James Harden, I believe that's what happens usually.
Yeah, too bad. The Mavs are in a bit of a
wobble now.
Yeah, serious wobble.
Look at
as a matter of a serious wobble. 5 straight losses at home.
And they've dropped 8 of their past 10 games.
There you go.
Doncic finished with 28 points, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds.
That tells the story, Cecilia. Anyways, for James Harden and Kevin Durant, they've been talking about how they managed to turn around and overcome that deficit to get a very important victory against the Mavs. Kevin Durant of the Brooklyn Nets. He also got to listen to James Harden earlier. Those two players were very instrumental in getting the W for the Brooklyn Nets. Before we leave the NBA, let's take a look at the standout performance. All of the players that stood out for their teams in their victories and sometimes in their losses as well. So let's start off with R.J. Barrett of the, they want to start with the King, so we'll just go with the King. James, 30.4 rebounds and 5 assists for the LA Lakers in their victory over the Celtics. Next up is R.J. Barrett, the young star from New York, 32 points, 5 rebounds and 2 assists for the Knicks in the victory over the San Antonio Spurs. And last but not the least is Jason Tatum, 34 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists. Unfortunately, wasn't enough. The Celtics lost against the biggest rivals, the LA Lakers. So that's it for basketball now, Cecilia. Basketball on the international scene.
So
and talk more basketball.
All right, talking about more basketball, yes, the Rising Stars Championship. Remember, Olumide Oyedeji was on this show talking about that Rising Stars Championship, and he wants to have the girls play basketball. First, it was the boys, but now it's the girls. They're talking about the Under-17 Girls Basketball Championship that is currently taking place in Lagos. You have about 6 teams taking part. You have states from Lagos, Ekiti, Osun, Ondo, of course, and Ogun State. So these teams, right now, the game we actually watched yesterday that I had to see was the game between Ekiti and Ondo, where Ekiti had to rally from about 6 points down to be able to win it by 32-27. Yes, you say the low-scoring game, but they're girls, so they're not boys.
You don't expect more than this at this level.
More than this at this particular level. Yeah. And of course, they actually enjoyed playing the game, especially Ramon and Vivian. Yes, that's the lady there.
Oops.
Not Vivian, that's Antonia. Antonia, she says she's 5'4". I'm like 5'4", okay. Most of the girls I saw there 5'7" or 6 or thereabout. But then the way she carried herself, the level of confidence, and the way she gingered her team. I mean, she led the team as much as when it was in first quarter. She was already like, she's already had her 6 points already. But somehow in the second, with the aggression coming from the ladies from Undo, more experience, so to speak. They were able to just kind of didn't allow her to do most of the things she wanted to do in that second half. But at the end of the day, they lost by as much as 5 points. But the day actually belongs to Ondo, where Ramon, scoring 12 points for them. She literally led the team to that victory. So for Ekiti now, they're out of contention, so they'll no longer be part of it simply because, I mean, all the games are over. So the finals will be played tomorrow, where you're going to be having Lagos, of course, Team Lagos. When you have Team Lagos, they're always the ones to be Team Lagos, and they're going to be playing in the final, while Ondo will have to settle for a third-place match against Osun State.
Fantastic, awesome platform for these girls to exhibit their talents, their skill set, to continue to improve it. And big shout out to Olumide Oyedeji for giving them this opportunity. Team Ondo emerging victorious over Team Ekiti in this particular game. Let's get post-game reactions now coming, first of all, from Team Ondo.
Nothing much. The only thing that is coming to this competition, I actually brought them to evaluate them. You understand? They've been training since January and there's no competition to show for it. But bringing them now is just to see how long they've gone in their training, how they can perform, then how they can perform against an opponent. Because when they are playing each other, they are used to each other. But coming in and meeting new faces, you understand that jittery and that fear. You understand? They are able to overcome it because in the first place, being a young girl, you understand? When they enter the game, they are first scared. Now, I told them, they're not the one playing because they played 4 games already and they won 2, lost 2. So there's nothing special in this game. I believe that's why they are able to come back.
Good, I'm excited though, because at first, we never gave up. Though this was our first game, though we didn't even, we were a bit afraid. But during the timeout, end of second quarter, during our third game, though I literally gingered them because I think we're all age mates. So I don't see any reason why we should be afraid of our fellow women. We just need to take the bold step, you get. So that's just it. And besides, we did it.
Well, I would say luck run out of our side because we were doing very great. But until the last quarter, the opportunity of scoring now becomes so low due to, I might say, fatigue. Maybe the players are a little bit weak. Then the combination of what I was doing before did not work out because the other guard, the other guard is the scorer, while the other one is to push out the ball. So she could not push anymore, so I had to change the person that used to push the ball to go and take in charge of the ball, and she can't score anymore. So she needs to push the ball and give others, and luck is not our side. If you check, a lot of our shots went off the hoops.
The game was fine and was okay, but my play was poor, somehow poor, because I did not put too much interest. And my teammates were depending on me, so I did not give them the best out of it. I'm not satisfied with the performance. It's because I'm the guard, so I'm not supposed to tell everyone where to stay. So I did not do that. I did not communicate with them. That is why this thing they booked us.
Brutally honest assessment of a game coming from that youngster right there. Cecilia, very interesting to see a player say, I did not do enough. I didn't do enough for my team to win. And coming at this age, I think is very, very impressive.
She was the star player of the team, and the coach explained that he had to draft her out, to distribute the balls because the shooting guard was supposed to do that, wasn't shooting so well. So wasn't doing much. So he had to, pull her out from where she was playing to distribute the ball. And so she couldn't get as much points as she could. So at the end of the day, she ended with just 8 points. And those points, literally got everything in that first quarter, which was really remarkable from her. But I thought she had a good game. But she didn't see it that way. She felt she could have done better for her team, because she's literally the leader of that team. That's
someone who sets a very high standard.
Standard for herself.
Exactly.
Yes.
I really like that part of her character. Anyways, better luck next time to Team Ekiti for the second edition. Hopefully there's a second edition.
Hopefully they can. Yeah, Volume they said it's coming to say because the Rising Star Championship. So
got to continue to rise.
Continue to rise.
Yeah. So. Upward, never downwards.
Never downwards, right?
All right. So that's it for basketball. Finally, we get to move on with the show now, Cecilia, and.
Let's go to Edo State, right?
Yeah, what's happening in Edo State?
Okay, whereby you have the governor of the state talking about Godwin Obaseki received the world record holder in javelin. She won a gold medal at the Tokyo Paralympic Games. I'm talking about Flora Uguwa Ekurede. She got a very good one. I remember the celebration that she had when she got that javelin gold medal in Tokyo. And of course, because of that, the governor had to receive her in the office. Of course, it's a good one, right?
Yeah, the governor posing with the gold medal as well too. Awesome to see. It's coming a bit late, but better late than never. And these Paralympians deserve everything. I mean, absolutely everything that they can get in terms of support, in terms of reception from the authorities, and it's a good one all around, really, sincerely.
Yeah, it's a good run. So let's take a listen to him, talking about how they intend to really revamp sports in the state. They've been doing that, but then they want to do more, encouraging athletes to represent the state well and also compete at major international competitions.
Like he said, the world record holder, the record I set in 2016 is still standing up to today. Has never been broken, not even on an ordinary competition or even in Paralympic Games. So with the help Edo State gave to me towards the preparation of the Paralympic Games, my intention was to reset the record. But it happened that the weather over there affected me drastically. So, but I thank God, I still came back with the medal, the gold medal, though I did not reset my record.
Clearly, there's, like you say, ability in disability, and you've demonstrated that. And we see you as an icon, as a magnet that should attract a lot of younger people, male and female, to look inwards, look into those God-given abilities and talents, and express those talents to the best of their ability. I want to congratulate you and to assure you that the government of Edo State is very interested in you and in our athletes, in our sports men and women. We will continue to invest in sports. We will continue to build more sporting infrastructure. We'll continue to provide the appropriate governance for our sporting associations. We've identified a dozen or so sports that we're going to be focusing on. Fortunately, yours is one of them.
All right, that's the governor of Edo State talking about revamping sports in the state, which they've been doing. Remember when they hosted the sports festival, we saw most of the facilities, and until date is still being maintained. And from that, we've been seeing various competitions taking place in the state, which is an avenue, an opportunity for the youth to really, how do I put it now, just enjoy the sports they play and also have facilities where they can really train in. So it's a good one for Flora being received by the state governor. Yeah.
Indeed. All right, we need to go on a break now, like right now.
Right now.
Yeah, let's go on that break. When we come back, we have a guest joining us to review UEFA Champions League games that were played last night. We're going to be telling you all about Atletico Madrid, how they made it into the last 16. We're going to be doing a comprehensive preview of today as well, to where 4 teams can still advance into the next round. Join us again. welcome back to Channel Sport this morning. Ademola Ogunbona has now joined us, and together we're going to be talking about the UEFA Champions League review and preview of the games that were played last night and the ones that will be played tonight. Good morning, Ademola.
Good morning, Tayo. Good morning, Sisi. Thanks for always having me.
Yeah, you've got a smile on your face. I wonder why that is the case.
You want to an Atletico Madrid fan, I guess. But before we get into the Champions League, let's just talk about what happened in Lagos yesterday, talking about the Ashojoba finals. And of course, we have winners. Expectedly, Bossep, 7th time. No woman has ever done that. Since she started playing, she's been winning. But then let's start with the guys. Ruwan Akombi. You know, Ruwan talked about when we knew that the defending champion will not be there here. We know that, yes, it's going to be all about Ruwan winning at the end of this. So Akombi, for him, he got this one. I mean, defeating Ajulo. It was a whitewash. Olakunle didn't even win a game at all. 11-8, 11-7, 11-14, 12, and 11-9. It was a straightforward victory for him, 4-0.
Cecilia, we're talking about the national champion right here. So no surprises whatsoever that he's gone on to reclaim the title. He surrendered in 2017. And it was a very, very comprehensive victory as well. Like you said, 4 games to love. And anyways, Akombi is a champ.
Yes, that's what is important.
Congratulations to him.
I mean, coming into this championship, he talked about the fact that, look, he's going to give his best. He's going to reclaim it. And he did it in a grand style. I mean, playing against a player that he has played before. But then in the finals like this, the dominance was just palpable.
It was clear for everyone to see. So that's the champion for you, Ashojoba, for the men's singles title. While for the women, Cecilia, this lady, Bosse Odusoya, laid down the challenge to every other women table tennis player out there that the only reason you're going to get to beat me is motherhood. Motherhood is the only reason I'm going to lose this title. And she's gone on to prove it once again. I mean, have you seen any champion this dominant in any sport on the local scene for this long? Cecilia,
I haven't seen.
I can't remember, not off the top of my head.
I was looking at
for Bosse Odusoya. 4-0 as well against Kende Oyeni.
11-4, 11-5, 11-6, and the final one where Kende tried to fight back ended 11-8. So, retaining our title since 2015, since she started playing, when she featured in a maiden edition, she has never lost the title. And so, her dominance might just continue for a very, very long time,
That's what it looks like. Yeah. So, unless, like she said, motherhood, perhaps the other girls have to start praying, get on their knees somehow, and you know. But anyways, she deserves a lot of credit to dominate this competition for this long. We're going to get to reactions that are coming from the winners as well as the organizers.
I've trained for the tournament, so my preparation was very high. So winning the tournament, I know, is as a result of hard work. Because though I'm looking forward to play very better and also to represent my country in continental and also in worldwide.
I'm so happy for winning this competition, but it's not by my grace, but by God and by training, because I've been training hard for this competition, so I thank God for winning this tournament. I'm so excited. It's God and training. I believe it's God and training, because whenever I want to play this competition, I always train hard. I always pray to God, so I believe it's God and training and my hard work.
Well, very happy that, again, in spite of the challenges of COVID and all, we're able to hold the competition. You know, that's the most important thing. That every year the competition keeps going. There's never a year that we want to stop this competition from happening. No doubt, no doubt. I mean, I was here yesterday. I saw a 10-year-old girl. She got to the semi-final. It's amazing. The talent that has come out this year this competition will keep on being a feeder for Lagos State to discover talents in the game of table tennis. Well, the prayer is that by this time next year, the issues with COVID will be, by the grace of God, behind all of us, and we can have this competition in the same glamour that we have always had it. You know, we're trying to manage the situation, not expose anybody to unnecessary risk. Even with the double vaccinations, we have seen that it doesn't exempt you from still catching it. So we will be back fully next year.
All right, fully back next year. We can't wait to see that happen, especially with the cadets. Talked about 10-year-old who got to semi-finals. And that's what we really want to see. I mean, I love what Lagos did, decide to have the younger players to play along with the senior. And of course, if you're good enough, you see what you can get. But having a 10-year-old get into the semi-finals, it's something really to celebrate about. I mean, so many athletes have taken part in this Ashojo, but most of them have become international stars after winning it. Hopefully, Bosse will be one of those stars that we want to celebrate in the future. All right, we're leaving Ashojo, but now quickly talk about the Women's Football League Premiership. The top flight is starting today. And the big game, of course, everyone is looking forward to is the game between Rivers Angels and Delta Queens. That game we played in Asaba, which will open it. Let's just take a look at the fixtures for today. Those games we expect to see on match day 1 of the Nigeria Women's Football League Premiership. Confluence Queens and Pelican Stars in action. Nigeria Ratters and Oshun Babes. Adamawa Queens and Edo Queens will also be in action. And move over to the other group. Of course, we know we're going to be having a bridge version because of the way the time is starting. FC Robo Queens and Abia Angels will be in Lagos. Delta Queens and Rivers Angels, that's in Asaba, Stephen Keshin Stadium, the headliner where the opening ceremony will start. Sunshine Queens and Bayelsa Queens will also be in action, and that will be in Akure.
So those are your fixtures for match day 1 of the 2021-2022 NWFL Premier League season. Wish the teams all the best as they begin hostilities today. Also, let's get on with the show. Let's leave women's football now. And Bada Kitune Johnson is ready to join us. And finally, we're going to the UEFA Champions League. We also have Demola Ogunbona as well. So we're going to be, first of all, doing a review of the games that went down yesterday. How Atletico Madrid somehow found a way to get into or squeeze into the last 16, going to the Stadio Dragao to get a very important victory, and all the results, of course, went in their favor as well. So, Bada Kitune, good morning. It's always great to have you on the show.
Morning, Tayo. Always a pleasure to be here.
Fantastic. So let's just dive straight into it. Atletico Madrid, what a win for them in Porto yesterday, 3-0. And you'd say the Porto players will be kicking themselves this morning for letting slip that incredible opportunity to advance into the next round.
You couldn't have put it a better way. Porto will be kicking themselves. They will be ruining all of the chances that they created, a flurry of them in the first half particularly. And you must say Jan Oblak pulled off some excellent saves, but he should not have been given any chance to get to some of those balls. Just, you know, putting them in the corner properly, tucking them away would have made a world of difference. But we've got to credit that Atletico Madrid, especially the spirit they've always displayed under Diego Simeone. You know that if you don't put them away, if you don't, you know, kill them off, they are definitely going to fight back. And that's exactly what happened with Antoine Griezmann getting on the end of a corner kick from Thomas Lemar, unmarked at the far post, criminal offense. He punished them for 1-0. And then with the Porto players, Porto committing more men forward, they left more gaps, and Andre Correa slipped in unpicked, undetected behind the defense, and he didn't commit the crime that Taremi particularly had committed previously on numerous occasions for Porto by not picking the corner. He did pick the corner for 2-0. And the third one was added by the Paul, the Argentinian. You thought that, Rodrigo de Paul. And you thought that Atletico Madrid, for showing the quality in the final third, you know, demonstrating that at this level of football, it's not enough to play well. It's not enough to create chances. It's not enough to build up nicely from defense into attack, you have to. The most important thing in football is scoring goals. And yesterday, Porto were found wanting, but Atletico Madrid got 3 very good goals. And even though Porto got a late consolation from a penalty, the deed had been done. Atletico had sealed their win and progression into the next round. And for the 3 teams, Milan, Porto, and Atletico Madrid, they will look at this group and feel, how did Liverpool make all of us look so ordinary? How? This was supposed to be a group of death, but Liverpool just romped through. Went into the history books as the first English team to win all of their group games. And having started that impressively, you must look at Liverpool as the firm favorite to go on and win this competition. Injuries permitting, suspensions permitting. If Jurgen Klopp keeps the team firing in all cylinders and they don't sort of suffer from the punishing schedule in December and early January in the Premier League, and don't get injuries, like I said, by the time the Champions League returns in February, they're still fresh, they're in fine fettle, and the impact of the AFCON, taking away Mo Salah, taking away Sadio Mane, doesn't really negatively impact them in the way that the confidence is eroded. I don't see why Liverpool can't aspire to winning their second Champions League trophy under Jurgen Klopp. Yesterday, they were full value for the win. There was no controversy. There was no dispute in the fact that, just based on, even with the fact that they made changes, they were always the more incisive team, and that's in the game against AC Milan. They, even though Milan gave them a scare, Tomori scored first from a rebound, but every time Liverpool went forward, they looked very sharp. They looked like they were going to score, carry the threat. Mane, Salah were kept in the team with all of the changes. The young stars came in. They had a structure and the spine of, those experienced players to work with. Origi led the line, scored the second goal deservedly after Salah had pulled them level from a rebound of Oxlade-Chamberlain's shot from distance with the keeper spilled. Liverpool were comfortable in the group. They were too comfortable.
Too comfortable.
Came in,
I agree.
Came in, and they look super strong and scary. They have to be, as I said, odds-on favorites to go and win this competition. The group was a breeze, and they keep players fit. They should be one of the potential winners.
You're spot on with the way they've played so far in this competition. Let's come to you now, Ademola. Liverpool 6 out of 6, first English side to do that. Remarkable. And for them to go to Milan with all those changes that they made, especially at the back, and still get a win, it's mighty impressive.
Tayo, mighty impressive. You have to say kudos to Jurgen Klopp. 8 changes he made yesterday, and they played as if nothing was missing. Yes, Mane was there.
He got it from
Salah was there.
Salah was there. But they made...
Alisson was at the back.
Yeah, they made AC Milan look so ordinary. And to see that AC Milan had a full complement of their own squad, and to play against these youngsters, they were so comfortable on the ball. The passes were there. They created more chances. And Origi as well. Would we say he was being compensated for the winner over the weekend? But he started and he proved himself, a worthy player for Liverpool yesterday again. We thought this was going to be a group of death. We thought it was going to be difficult, judging by the caliber
for
of
only
team.
Liverpool, not the other teams.
For all of them, when the draw was made.
And the way Liverpool made it look so easy. Of course, they said they are odds-on favourite, firm favourite. I would say one of the favourite because we still have very, very tough oppositions there in the Champions League. So fantastic win for Liverpool yesterday.
It's spot on. And of course, guess who was very, very happy, who was very, very proud of that incredible achievement? Yeah, Jurgen Klopp. Absolutely incredible. Take a bow wherever you are, Liverpool. Let's go to Madrid quickly and tell you about Real Madrid taking on Inter Milan. It was a shootout for who to top the group. At the end of it all, it was 2 superb goals coming from Toni Kroos and Marco Asensio that gave Real Madrid all 3 points, and it was enough to top their group. Bada.
So I think that this Real team will win games like this when the opposition is not necessarily stretching them, when there's not a lot of pace to contend with or to deal with. Last season, for instance, they were sort of shown for what they actually suffer from, lack of legs. By Chelsea, you had the Mounts, the what's the American now? Can't remember his name. Yeah, Pulisic. You have young players like that who, Kai Havertz, who were running rings around them. They just couldn't keep the likes of Cruz, Casemiro, suffered in those games simply because they just didn't have the legs to deal with the energy and the youth of the Chelsea team over 2 legs. But yesterday, what Inter was doing, playing long balls, trying to find Edin Dzeko, they really didn't play the ball, put the ball on the floor and stretch Real through the wings. So they played right into their hands. They looked very comfortable, scored a befitting 1,000th goal in the competition from the left foot of Toni Kroos from distance, an absolute perler into the bottom left corner of the goalkeeper. Milan, yes, they huffed and puffed. They created a few opportunities, but never really enough for me. And then I think it was Barella who got stupidly sent off and made their task even more difficult. Skriniar had a few chances here and there. Dzeko got on the end of a few centers, but couldn't really create a clear-cut opportunity until late on when Marco Asensio rose from the bench and bent in a trademark curler from the edge of the right side of the box, found the top corner, the ball went in through the upright for a magnificent second goal. I thought Real Madrid were comfortable, like I said. Both teams, it must be said, had qualified, so they were literally just disputing the top spot in the group. But Inter Milan, over 2 legs, were well beaten by this Real team, simply because they actually didn't exploit the apparent weakness of the Real Madrid team, which is that, especially in defense and midfield, there's a lack of legs in the wide areas. The David Alabas of this world are not the youngest players anymore. Modric, Cruz, players like that don't have the energies anymore. If you want to beat Real Madrid, you've got to really, really stretch them, playing, into the wide areas. And also, there's got to be a lot of energy. There's got to be a lot of youth on the pitch. And yesterday, Inter Milan didn't have any of those.
It seems not to have it.
Ademola.
Okay.
I have to say credit to the coach now, Carlo Ancelotti. Yes, he's been there before, he's back there again. And the way he's well-balanced Real Madrid, the young and the old.
Youth and experience.
Youth and experience. See the way Modric was playing yesterday, like, it was a 23-year-old. Toni Kroos as well, fantastic on the night. You thought they were going to miss Sergio Ramos, of course, legend of the game for Real Madrid, but Alabas coming and slotted in, beautifully.
Nice.
And the other defender as well, has stood his ground. They have a fantastic goalkeeper, and they look like a very, very well-organized side as well. You thought Inter Milan, for all intent and purpose, they've been playing well in Italian Serie A. You thought that they would come here and give. I was really looking for an Inter team to come there and do something yesterday, saying that they really needed that win. But then the way Madrid took them apart. They were composed and compact in the midfield. Midfield for me was where I thought the game was won and lost.
Okay.
And yes, the subs that came on for Real Madrid, Asensio, I mean, you know that he gave him that kind of space at the edge of the box with his left collar. Only one outcome was guaranteed, and the keeper had no chance yesterday. I felt sorry for the goalkeeper. Nicolo Barella got sent off needlessly as well, because I thought if it had been 11 against 11, maybe there would have been a chance for Inter Milan. But fantastic win for Real Madrid. 600 goals. Record-breaking for them, not record-setting in the Champions League. That speaks volume, for a club as huge as Real Madrid.
And, all right, so that's it. Real Madrid topping their group to advance into the next round of the UEFA Champions League. When we come back from this break, our analysts will be telling us if Barcelona stand a chance in hell of beating Bayern to get a chance of qualifying for the last 60. Join us again. You're welcome back to Channel Sports this morning. Time to talk about Barcelona and Bayern Munich. That's the big game for tonight, and of course there are other games as well. So other teams still looking to see their place or their places in the round of 16. Cecilia, you wanted to say something before we go to Barcelona.
Yeah, I think that's to do with PSG. I was like, I don't know
what is it about PSG?
I don't know why Kylian Mbappe had to give up the chance of having a hat-trick and giving it to Messi. I'm like, he's the youngest star. Very unselfish, right?
That's what it is.
I'm like, he's the youngest player to reach 30 goals, right?
Yes.
League of Champions League in how many games?
Yes.
I mean, no one has done that. He's young and thought he want to pile up the stats and just see how many goals he'll get. But somebody's got a chance. Was it 2 goals? He's got a chance to make it 3 and get a hat-trick. And like, okay, Messi's the senior man. He gave it to him.
Especially as Messi won the penalty. Messi was the guy that was brought down for the pen. So I really don't think it's much of a big deal at all. And talking about young stars getting incredible amounts of goals, Erling Haaland is on 23 goals from 19 games already.
Crazy tire.
Madness.
He came in at sub yesterday, never looked like he had gone away, and you know, ever since come back, 2 goals. I mean, see, big money is coming for the guy next year.
Real Madrid, get the money ready. All right, time to talk about the games for today quickly. And of course, we're talking about the big one, which is Bayern and Barcelona. And the reason why it's big here, it's simply because Barcelona will try to beat Bayern Munich away from home. And get into the Champions League knockout stage. Can they do that? That's the big question. But I'll come to you right here because Barcelona at the weekend, they drop a point. The first time they're losing a game under the new coach, Xavi. Now his biggest test is obviously going to be against Bayern Munich tonight.
Well, this game is probably more important to us than it is to Xavi.
Okay.
I know that, you know, his priorities or his objectives are very clear. He wants to reset this team. He wants to blood a lot of young players. He wants to get them back playing according to the Barcelona identity, playing, you know, cohesive football, playing very well and winning games by creating so many chances and scoring them, taking them away from all of the sterility that plagued them during Ronald Koeman's reign. So I think it's come too early. They're not going to beat Bayern away from home, even if Bayern Munich brings the changes and they bring in a lot of fringe players. Barcelona still won't have enough quality to beat them. I think that their biggest problem is in the attacking third, where Memphis Depay will try as much as he would, but he's not the most ruthless finisher. Don't be deceived by his international goal scoring record. When you play Azerbaijan and San Marino and Malta, you score a lot of goals. But at club level, he's not the sort of ruthless finisher, that you expect a club like Barcelona. It's not the Suarez or the David Villa type that will score you 40 goals a season. So those young players will be found wanting on a night like this. The occasion and the quality of the team they are up against will just be too much for them. Yes, Bayern don't have much to play for, but they're at home, and this team doesn't know how to lose. They don't know. They can't differentiate between a game that is significant and one that isn't. There's no dead rubber in their dictionary. They're going to come out and play their usual game and just be too much for Barcelona. Of course, Barcelona will, you know, show their quality, their strength in the areas where they've got them, but there's a lot of weaknesses in this team. At the moment, they're not really defending well, not because, you know, they shouldn't be as a unit, but because there are just a few unreliable individuals in that, you know, back line. And Xavi would need a transfer window or two sort of to address, or enough time to bring in players from La Masia and get them embedded into the team properly. As I said, the key factor here, the reason why I think that they're not going to get a result, they won't even get a draw from this game, is because it's come too early in the reign of Xavi, and I know that he knows, and he'll be telling his employers that, you know what, the damage had always been done in the previous matches. We've boxed ourselves into a position where we now need to climb 4 more mountains or more in the form of Bayern Munich to get through, and it doesn't look likely that would happen. Of course, they will go give it a shot. They will try their best. I'm afraid their best won't be good enough on a night like this.
All right, end of the road for Barcelona, it seems, according to Bada. Bada, thank you so much for joining us on the program once again.
Thanks for having me.
All right, no luck for Barcelona. That's what it's looking like tonight. We'll see what's going to happen if they can, you know, prove everyone wrong and sneak
I
into the knockout round like Atletico Madrid
I don't
did.
quite agree.
Nothing is impossible.
Exactly. In football, nothing is a given.
Okay.
You know, in as much as all the odds are stacked against Barcelona and nobody seems to be giving them a chance, anything can happen in 90 minutes of football. Yes, they are going away to play, but we're hearing that it might be a lockdown situation with no fans.
Of
that
course,
might come to Barcelona's advantage as well. So never say never tire.
Really?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
So
the odds are
you're giving Barca
I am not giving. I'm just saying that
a little bit of a chance.
Absolutely,
10%.
Absolutely.
They're about.
Okay.
Absolutely. And
so
it's still something.
It's not all gloom and doom for Barcelona. They got a chance, right? So prove everyone wrong and see if you can sneak into the knockout stage of the UEFA Champions League.
Well,
time to take a look at the papers now, Tayo. Quickly, we'll just look at. There's so many other games for today, but we don't have time to run through all that because most of them are already through to the knockout stage, like likes of Chelsea and Manchester United already booked a spot in that. Complete Sports, I'll start with that. And why Dennis is not playing for Arsenal or Manchester United after transfer interest at Club Brugge. That's okay. There's something. Why Dennis is not playing for Arsenal or Man United? There's a question mark here from Complete Sports. And Osimhen vows to come back stronger. Insists he's certainly not built to fail. Okay. All right, let's see. It's going to come back, of course, we know that, but stronger. Rogers says why Iheanacho hasn't been playing for Leicester City. There's a reason for that on Complete Sports. And yeah, Chukwueze 6 first UCL start as Villarreal look to secure sport in knockout stage tonight. They'll be up against Atalanta. So we'll be rooting for Villarreal simply because of Chukwueze to be in the knockout stage.
It's going to be a tough task anyway against Atlanta side who are free scoring.
They can just go on and avoid defeat against Atalanta, and that should be good enough for them.
That should be good enough for them.
Okay, there's this story on Victor Moses here where the agent hints at Moses' return to the Super Eagles. All right.
Figalo is back. Why not
So
Victor
why
Moses?
not Moses?
He's playing competitively in Russia and scoring goals as well. So hey, why not? If he has something to contribute, absolutely.
Okay. Can we have Emmanuel Dennis on that team? No matter what the guys are going to do, I believe he needs to be in that team. Whatever you're bringing, you can go bring Ayegbeni or anybody, but just let's have
come on now.
That's going to be too far now, Cecilia. Let's go to Sporting Life.
Amuneke.
Oh, come on, Cecilia.
Sporting Life, right?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, is it MNK? I mean, the MNK can also come back.
Sporting Life is our next paper. Agent is talking as Emmanuel Dennis's agent says his client is wanted by Manchester United and Arsenal. Says Eagle Star will move on to a bigger club. Can't wait for that one. Salah scores 7th in 6 games as in the UEFA Champions League. Genk chief backs on
Ballon d'Or candidates.
Of course, if it carries on with his form. There's a still story on Victor Moses as well, ready to return to the Super Eagles, so there might just be some serious fire where the smoke is coming from. What else? Jaribo rejects a new Rangers deal.
Interesting.
Is looking to move on to the Premier League. We'll see how that pans out. Okay, right. So that's about it for Sporting Life. Let's go to the last
Sporting
paper.
Sun, which is the last one here. Interesting story from Sporting Sun here, especially on page 6, where you have Taiwo at 36 joins a Finnish club. Is he still playing football? Okay.
That's what it means.
That's what it means.
Yeah, 30. Wow. It's not 40 years.
It's not 40 yet, so
still playing for AC Milan.
Wow. Okay, and if we have Aribo rejecting this Rangers deal, is also here new contract. Maybe, just maybe, Steven Gerrard is bringing him to the Premier.
Just imagine that. That would be awesome. I mean, Aribo playing for Aston Villa would be good to see.
That would be good to see.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
Ademola, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Appreciate your time. Thank you all for watching as well. Enjoy the rest of your day. I am Tayo Salam.
I'm Cecilia Mogbe. See you tomorrow.